Once upon a time, there was a woman who would get caught up in all the hype and all the excitement of setting New Year's resolutions. And so she would participate in that time honored tradition. She would set a resolution on January 1st. She would wake up so excited. And by January 4th or 5th or 6th or after the weekend, she was struggling. She had already missed a day, started to feel disappointed, defeated, and she thought there was something wrong with her. So by February, she felt stuck. By March, she felt completely discouraged. April to November, she went right back to being busy and overwhelmed and just trying to manage all the things. And then December would roll around and with it, hope again. Maybe this will be different. And when she failed her New Year's resolution, she would think, there must be something wrong with me. But the moral of this story is, what if it's not you that's failing New Year's resolutions, but New Year's resolutions that are failing you? In this video, I'm going to show you why New Year's resolutions are designed to fail, and actually, if it sounds completely crazy, the good reason why they should fail, because there is a better way to experience exponential growth in a year without setting and failing New Year's resolutions. So, if New Year's resolutions have been something that you have a love-hate relationship with, like you love to set them and you hate to break them, and it feels like every time they roll around you feel a little bit more discouraged, then this video is probably for you. So, number one, why New Year's resolutions failing us instead of us failing New Year's resolutions? Well, because they're built on three subtle lies. Here's lie number one. Lie number one is there is something wrong with you that needs to be fixed. This is a subtle lie that many, many people believe. There is something wrong with me that needs to be fixed, which leads to lie number two of the bigger, the faster, the better it's going to be. So this is what has us not only setting a New Year's resolution, but setting one that is bigger than we are prepared to manage. We're biting off more than we can chew. And then thirdly, the lie is that when we fail, there must be something wrong with us. And so it erodes our self-trust. And when truly, if we are going to actually grow this year and especially have exponential growth, the very first step is to build trust back up in ourselves that we will do the things that we say that we will do. When I talk about self-trust, I'm talking about self-trust in our own word, that when I say I do something, I will follow through. And so if New Year's resolutions are making you believe that there's something wrong with you that needs fixing, and that the bigger the faster the better it is, but then it has you biting off more than you can chew, and then has you eroding your trust in yourself to take action to make your life better, then this is not a system that is supportive to your exponential growth. What is better than New Year's resolutions? Better than New Year's resolutions, setting and failing at them, is creating a system that supports exponential growth. Imagine it like this. Imagine that you're a tree and you want to grow up strong and you want to grow up straight. And straight and strong kind of support each other. Well, what would you do with that tree? You would stake it. You would tie supports on it to make sure that it grows up straight. But if those stakes, if those supports are too tight, too restrictive, they don't suit you, then they're not going to allow you the room for expansion, the room for growth. So to create exponential growth is to focus not on the parts of you that might be broken, need fixing, but actually to say, what's the container that I would grow best in? How do I set it up to where it's almost impossible to make forward progress? Almost impossible. If you set it up to where it's almost impossible to make forward progress, then it just gets easy. All right. So, how do we do that? Let me give you a simple 3-step framework that I have been using for a several years now instead of New Year's resolutions. Step number 1, pick an aspirational phrase. Pick one, two, or three words that you want to live into in the upcoming year. For me in 2025, that phrase was easy and light, as in, I wanted to create more easy and light while still growing in my life, physically, my home, and my business. And it feels kind of like an oxymoron, but that's why I chose it because it was a fun challenge. As in, can I do better, but with less energy, with less mental load? Can I do better and also enjoy it more? Can I experience growth that is delightful? Which is another pet peeve when we keep on assuming that growth has to be painful. When I think about it like this, growth is always growth towards better. So growth is just there's always a hard part of life and an easy part of life. Hard growth is putting the hard on the front side so that we can grow to the easier. So, when we grow, we're signing up for let's do the hard so that it gets easier. This is also, side note, why I struggle with the word sacrifice, because it's the same connotation that actually a good, well designed sacrifice is something that feels hard on the front end, but creates so much benefit on the back end that when we look at it in the long picture, in the big picture frame, then we don't say it was sacrifice, we say it was wise, it was wisdom. All right. So, step number 1, pick an aspirational phrase. 1, 2, or 3 words feeling words that have this sense of pulling you forward and upward. Like, I want to live into that feeling. I want to live into that. It might be something like momentum, or it might be something like simple health. You get to choose what that is for you. And also, when you do, make sure you put it in the comments below. I cannot wait to hear your aspirational phrase for 2026 or whenever you're listening to this. We don't have to wait until the start of the year to change. We could do it anytime. So if you're listening to this in May, then these steps will work. All right, so that was step number 1. Step number 2. This is the step that everybody wants to skip. Please don't skip this. Please do not discount the importance of this step. And that is choose one area to focus on. So many times we set New Year's resolutions that are just too big. And then when we cannot keep up with them, we think we're a failure. We're going to choose one area because one area allows us to focus more of our attention, more of our energy. It allows us to not forget our own goals, our own systems. One area, but the benefit of one area, it allows us to not be overwhelmed. It allows us to make small, continual progress without the overwhelm. But here is the hidden benefit of choosing one area. One area is usually actually the bottleneck to many other areas. So when you open up that bottleneck, when you expand that one constraint in your life, then you will see every other area of your life benefit from the improvement that you make in one area. So you've picked your phrase, you choose one area. Here's an example of this. Are you familiar with the woman called Fly Lady? She did this. She said, start with shining your kitchen sink, as in reclaim one area, conquer it, make it something that you are proud of and something that you can maintain. Start in an area that is so small that it feels like you just can't fail at it. And be consistent at it and then see the benefits of that expanding. And I'll be honest, That is exactly where I started when I started on my own journey of creating a calm home that is clutter-free. All right. So that's step number 2 is pick one small area. It might be an area in your personal life, it might be an area in your physical life, your environment, or it might be an area in your business, maybe an area in your spiritual life, whichever you choose. And then step number 3 is pick one small action step that you could do today that aligns with your aspirational phrase of the year. Whatever it is, no step is too small. One tiny step in the right direction, repeated 1,000 times, will get you to your destination. The benefit of tiny action steps, so small that your brain doesn't think this is too hard. I want your brain to think this is too easy. And then when your brain offers, this is too small to make a difference, remind it, no. The goal here is to build self trust again in yourself, keeping your word to yourself. So that's it. Now we get to build on that as much as we want. As soon as we conquer that one tiny little step and that becomes a habit in our life, then add another one. As soon as that becomes easy, add something else. You get to decide on that. But what we're trying to do here is retrain our brain to support ourselves in continual success. And don't hear that as in, if I fail to do it one time, then the whole system is ruined. Da, 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 da. I'm falling back into the whole I was never meant to succeed. No, don't let the perfectionism creep in. Allow yourself to just pick yourself up and do it again the next day. Retrain your brain to believe in yourself, keeping your word to yourself, one tiny step at a time, one small habit at a time, and watch as your mindset increases, then your ability to take action will increase. And that is the missing component. See, so many times we think that what will make a difference in our life is taking these big, profound actions like, I'm going to run a marathon this year, even though I can't even walk a mile. When truly what will change our life is upgrading our identity. So I did this a few years ago. A few years ago, I was struggling to get healthier, and I decided that my one tiny action step was I don't care if it takes a whole year. My one action step is I am going to find an exercise that I enjoy doing. That is my health felt like it was the bottleneck to my life. And I thought, if I find an exercise that I enjoy doing, then I will do it. And so I did. So I tried a few different things and found out that I truly enjoy walking. And so I just made walking my thing. And then I found ways to enjoy walking more. I started listening to podcasts and I started going on longer walks. And I bought warmer clothes and then I was able to walk even on cold days. And that tiny action step led to multiple benefits and led to me truly believing that I am a woman who loves exercise. And if I am a woman who loves exercise, then I show up and I exercise. And then that led me to then later investing in a trainer and lifting weights. And then that led me to buying my own weights so I could lift weights at home. When we're working from identity, there is no action that's too small to reinforce that identity. Notice that. Be content with that, knowing that it will grow and that consistency and constraint will yield your compounding results. All right. And you'll notice that the action step, if you make it doable to you, not doable to anybody, but just doable to you, whatever it is, no matter the size, and desirable to you, as in it's a good fit for the way that you're designed, the way that you're hardwired, then it's practically done. That's when you know that you've hit the sweet spot. All right. So, in conclusion, that is my 3 step framework for experiencing exponential growth. Whoops, hold still. So there it is. A simple 3-step framework for experiencing exponential growth without setting and breaking New Year's resolutions. And if this has resonated with you, let me introduce myself. My name is April Bragg, and I help women become time rich in both life and business. Not by doing more, but by asking better questions that change what's possible. And if you want help making decisions, that protect and increase your time and energy, I have a free tool called the 1-Minute Decision Filter. You can either comment time rich below or go to aprilbragg.com/decide to get that tool. And if you want more time in your life, you're welcome to subscribe to this channel. And remember, your time is your most valuable possession. May yours be multiplied to the benefit of you and also the blessing of others.